In this segment, we're doing the manual stop distance test. Excuse me. As I demonstrated earlier, the machine does an automatic stop test. The automatic stop test is a result of one of three issues. Either the power has been cycled on and off, the machine has run consecutively, non-stop for 4 hours, or if you've pressed and released this reset button. The first thing it's going to do on the way down, it's going to come down about a ½ inch and stop, or an inch and stop. If it passes the stop test, it'll allow you to go through the bend, or it'll bring you raise the ram back up, it'll allow you to go through the bend, or it'll bring you down to the top edge of material. So there, the first hit, it failed the stop test. Raise it back up. We did a second one, third one. Okay, if a situation like this occurs, simply raise the ram back up, press and hold the reset for 3 seconds, and we'll try it again. Raise the ram up. Sometimes on the stop test, it will not give you a clearance on the first go. Sometimes it'll take 2 hits, sometimes it'll take 3 hits. Generally, if it doesn't pass within 3 hits of stoppage, then what you want to do is raise the ram back up, hit your reset again, and retry it. As you can see, it's going through right now. Sometimes it'll take 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and if not 3, then just reset and try again. The stop distance test result is a result of the machine movement getting an activation signal, and it's measuring to the actual stoppage. So if the ram is coming down and it gets a signal to stop, then it measures how far it travels once it actually stops. So the reason I'm explaining that is certain things can affect the stop test. If someone tries to speed the machine up, or if the hydraulic fluid gets real cold, sometimes it has to warm up in order to get a good stop test. Several different things can interfere with the stop test. It's just that sometimes it takes more than one time to try the stop test. All right, that's the automatic stop test. Once you've got a good automatic stop test, then the system should be good to go. We also, when you've got the automatic stop test involved, we also recommend that you do a manual stop distance test. The manual stop distance test is to ensure that the safety system is responding properly, not set up properly. The mute positioning is to make sure the system is set up properly. The stop distance test is to make sure it's responding properly. The way that we do a stop test, a manual stop distance test, turn the key on. We take the round peg, place it up against the bottom edge of the upper tooling. If we've got longer tooling, we do it all the way across. And we want to make sure that where the peg, the round peg, is up against the upper tooling, that it interferes with at least one receptacle on the receiver. In this situation, it's interfering with 3 of them, so it's good to go. That's the first stage. The second stage, place a piece of material equal to what you're bending across the bend line. again out to the side where you won't damage it. Place the thickest part of the block across the bend line. Bring the ram down until it stops. Slide the material and the block over and make sure you have wiggle room. You would check that all the way across. The third stage is we will bring it down and stop it with this small section. Once it stops, we're going to slide it in and test it with the midsection. Excuse me. So, we raise the ram back up. Before we do this final test, we're going to put it in box mode. So we've got it in box mode. Place the material across the bend line. Place the block across the bend line using the smallest section of the block. Bring the ram down until it stops. Take your foot off. Move it over. Slide it in. Make sure you have wiggle room. Test it all the way across. So, you have the distance of the laser with the round peg, the fast approach with the thickest part of the block, and the final approach with the two smaller parts of the block. Okay? We recommend you do this at least once per shift, preferably at the beginning of the shift. That's when you have the automatic stop test engaged. If you're running a machine where the automatic stop test has been disengaged for reasons like too close to the material or too close to the tooling, then we recommend you do this before each run, before each job run.